All right, so let's take a look at the answers to these questions. So vertical shift. So what transformation happens vertically in this graph? Here's our vertical shift. It falls outside of our function, so it's going to do what? Vertical shift is up 3. Okay, what about the horizontal shift? The horizontal shift happens inside our function. In which direction is this going to go? To the left or to the right? You test it and see what value of x would give you a 0 in here. -1, so it's going to go to the left, the negative direction, 1. So we're shifting left 1. Okay, so this graph gets moved up 3, so 1, 2, 3, and then over to the left 1. Okay, so every point on here gets moved left 3 or left 1, up 3. Okay, so where does our horizontal asymptote wind up being? It's the equation y is equal to whatever our vertical shift is, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So here is our horizontal asymptote. Okay, which means, again, what's happened is this point has gone up 3 and over 1. So we're looking at a function that kind of looks like this with the shifting occurred. Okay, the domain, now we still have, one less thing that I left off here, and that is reflection. Okay, what kind of reflection occurs here? When we look out, this number is negative, so we do have reflection, and the reflection is across that asymptote. So it's vertical reflection. Okay, so our graph isn't going to be up here, it's going to be reflected, and it's going to come down. Okay, and so here's what our graph would look like in purple. So this is y equals -2 times 4 to the power of x plus 1 plus 3. Okay, so we can answer the remaining questions involving our domain. So what are the values of x for this purple function? Always from -infinity to +infinity for these exponential growth models. In our range, we look at our lowest value first. So what's the lowest value of y? Y continues infinitely down, so -infinity. And it extends all the way up to our highest possible y value. Goes up to, but does not actually include 3, so a parentheses around 3. But we do include, or we extend it all the way to, but not including 3. And then the final steps here to identify the left and right behavior. So again, the left behavior, even though this purple graph continues to increase, it increases in infinitely small increments, even though it is increasing. So instead of calling that rising, because it doesn't rise without limits, we're going to say that it approaches the asymptote. And then the right behavior, it gets lower and lower and lower, so it's going to fall, or it goes down into the right.